everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Irene. I hope you're all doing well. So today's video is all about the things I've sewn to wear in the spring-summer seasons, and not all of them were made this summer. Some of them were made last summer, but I haven't had the opportunity to talk about them like in detail so much. Maybe you've seen some of them here and there in some lookbooks or something. However, I wanted to sit and talk to you guys about like the patterns I use, the fabrics, the process, or like whatever it is that pops up about them, and I hope you enjoy this video. Let's go. So the first one that I'll be talking about is this dress that I'm wearing currently, and I will put some B-rolls on the screen. I also will link a video lookbook that I made wearing it somewhere on the screen. And so this one is a dress inspired partly by Faithful the brand, partly by a brand called Peony Swim, which is super beautiful. Like the fabrics and the colors they use and the style is really like Australian summer, bohemian, like nostalgic type thing. But they're way too expensive, and I mean, now that I know how to sew, they're too expensive to buy because I could just make it myself. It's not a complicated dress, honestly. It's very simple, one of the simplest things I've ever made. And I could also use an even higher quality fabric by going to Liberty and buying this one, and I am absolutely in love with this fabric. It's, I think, called Blossoming Swirl, something like that. I will write it down if I find it. And I just love the hues, very pastel, very cottagecore, and like, I don't know, dreamy. The fabric itself has this crispy drape. It's not exactly like a soft, super soft drape, but it has its own specific drape, and the quality is amazing. I think it's just a perfect fabric for this dress. And the pattern is a PDF pattern from Etsy, and I changed it a little bit because it had a zipper in the back normally, and I didn't want that. So I found a, you know, like a blog on the internet, and they made this beautiful ruffle elastic thingy in the back, and I loved that. So I did that, and it ended up perfect. It's easy to slip on and off. I don't have to deal with a zipper. And the only thing is that I had to do a lot of pattern adjustments for the skirt part of the pattern because it was like way too large. The top was perfect fit, and then the bottom wasn't. I don't know why. Maybe it wasn't. It's not going to be like that for you. I have no idea. Anyway, it was a fun sew. Totally recommend. So the next make is this cute little fluffy top that I made using a linen in this gorgeous shade of pink, which I think is the best, one of the best hues I've ever worn for my skin tone. You know, sometimes you end up trying something on and you realize that that color was all along your color. This is what happened, and I will be buying more of this fabric to make a dress next summer. I bought this one from the fabric store in their gingham linen collection, which is super nice. I have their gingham linens in every color imaginable. And I made this top using a tutorial on YouTube by Regine Morales. I will link it somewhere in the description or on the screen. You might have seen it in the last lookbook as well. I wore it there with white linen pants. Every time I wear it, I feel so pretty, and I think that it's a very flattering piece, really easy to make as long as you understand how to use little elastic threads. One thing that I do recommend is if you have a brother machine, you will have to most likely take the lower bobbin out and tighten it for it to actually share the fabric, and so you might want to buy another plate for the bobbin to not have to lose, you know, that setting of the tightness, that tension of the lower bobbin. I didn't do that. I was okay because I memorized exactly how much I turned, but I will have one for shirring and one for regular sewing, and I would recommend that. And I think that people who have like Singer machines and stuff, they don't have to worry about that. And it was very fun, yeah. And one of my first sews that I actually felt really comfortable wearing, even though like it wasn't perfect. This was last summer, So yeah, so the next one I made is this lovely top, and I made this again last summer, but I never wore it in a video. Maybe in a talking video I might have, but not in a lookbook or anything. And so it's the first time I'm officially showing you guys this top, and I think that this is one of my most well-made items of clothing. And the story behind this is basically I was seeing tops like this from Reformation, and they were costing around 110 euros. So I was like, if that, why don't I make it myself? Because that is way overpriced, and I don't like Reformation anymore, by the way, because they really annoyed me with their BS on Instagram by saying, you know, we are like so sustainable, and now we're making sustainable shoes made of leather, and vegan shoes are just plastic. Vegan leather is plastic, and we are using grass-fed whatever cows, and they're so happy, and they're not at all skinned. Just very annoying and misinformed and spreading that misinformation. And I also heard other stuff about them, and also I think they are overpriced now that I know that these are really easy to make, and I even use a better fabric than they would have. Not that they use bad fabrics, but this is Liberty. So it was like 24 euros per meter, and I think that it wouldn't have been more than 1.5 meters. I used a tutorial on YouTube. It was super easy and really fun to make, and it turned out looking perfectly professional, in my opinion, if I may say so myself. And so I don't need to go and give all that money to Reformation, if you know what I mean. So with that little Reformation related rant out of the way, let's go to talk about the next. So this is the first thing I've ever sewn, which is why it's a little bit wonky, but I still love it. It's really cute. This is a vintage bikini top from the 1950s, I believe. It's a Vogue pattern that I bought from Lady Merlot. I will link it and put a picture on the screen. Anyway, so I used again a fabric store gingham linen in duck egg. I think it's such a perfect shade of blue, and it's really pretty. I did change a few things about it. For example, this tie here, I used a scrunchy pattern. It was like a free scrunchy pattern, and it had little ties like this on it, and I had made a scrunchie like as a small like trying project, and then I ended up really liking the little tie, and I changed it into this tie here because it was supposed to be sort of a thin spaghetti thing, and that is long, and I don't like that comfort wise. And obviously I would have done many things differently if I did this now. For example, I would have put these little thingies in between the two layers of fabric here and hidden them and made them more secure. Another thing is I use like these really cute vintage buttons in the back, which are like little glass buttons in heart shapes. It's all good and all, but they pop off really easily. So when I wear it, it can sometimes like open itself, and also the boobs are like sort of lifted at the bottom, so it's sort of like, it doesn't bother me, but it feels like it's gonna sort of come off. But that's what happens when it's your first project. I still love it, and I wear it. I just wear it carefully, making sure that it's not gonna just jump out of my body. But yeah, I have a sentimental attachment to this piece. I also forgot to mention something else about this top. This top, like literally the first thing I've ever made. I even made a mock-up of it before I made the real one, but still I kept learning and learning like little tiny details as I went on. And you can see that this back part here, the corners are just kind of rounded and not perfect. That's because I didn't know that I was supposed to sort of cut the corner, and I sort of didn't understand why mine wasn't sharp, and if I touch here it's kind of bulky there. And then I googled it. By the time I was making the second one, this was already attached, so I didn't change it, and this one, as you can see, is like sharp. So you live and you learn, I guess. And there's all kinds of signs of improvement in just one top that I could even I couldn't even talk about all of it in this video, basically. So this next one is a very recent one. This is, I think, my latest sew, and it is my favorite thing that I've sewn until now, and I'm really excited to wear it. Soon we're going to Spain, so I will be making matching capri pants. I hope that I can finish them before we go in like 2 weeks. So I really want to wear it like that. I think it's such a sailory outfit, and it's the 1950s vintage pattern for shirts. It has beautiful turned up cuffs, short sleeves, and a really interesting color shape, because it goes like sort of, it was kind of tricky to sew but also really fun. And I made buttons for it that are covered as well. And I just really love this one because I think I did a really good job, if I say so myself. However, I did have a problem with this. I was trying to make it so perfect. I tried to go all in with this one, so I used all the French seams and everything that you could imagine. I even tried to make French seam sleeves, and so what happened is I made a mock-up, and I usually don't set the sleeves when I make mock-ups. I realized that's a huge mistake with this one, because I just made everything perfectly, and then it came to the sleeves, and I realized that there is like about crazy but 3 inches or so of ease in the sleeve, and it just kept gathering, and there are no gathers like in the picture in the illustration. And so I had to do a big pattern adjustment and stuff, but in the end I managed to fix it. So I recut only, I think I just changed the shape of the sleeve, and then it was fine. But yeah, every time you make a mock-up, set the sleeves in. Don't tell me that I didn't tell you. So this is it for this video, guys. I wanted to just show a few of the things I made. There will be a part 2, but since it's taking me so long to make all these pieces, I want to, you know, show them slowly so that I can have different videos of showing you what I made. I hope that you enjoyed this video and got some inspiration. Also saw that like what I make isn't perfect. I'm a beginner, or I was a beginner, now I'm a bit better, but like we all improve and we all look back and see the things we did differently and that we would do in a better way now, but that's okay, and we still wear and love those clothes, and that's how we learn. That's a good thing. In fact, this last shirt that I thought was perfect, when I was going to the tailor for something, I took it with me and asked her, like, do you see anything that you think I could improve? Like, is there something that I missed and stuff, just to make sure that I end up learning from it. I hope that you see it that way too. I hope that you have a happy time sewing. And also, before I leave, I want to let you know that in the descriptions I added some affiliate links for stuff I use for sewing, and if you're interested you can click and see them. I will be getting a commission from them at no cost to you, so that would support the channel if you want to, or liking, commenting, subscribing is also really great, and I'm so grateful for all the support for the channel. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye!